Rapper and actor Kid Cudi is set to testify today in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking and racketeering trial. Now, yesterday, the jury heard from Combs' former personal assistant, George Kaplan, and he testified he was in charge of protecting Combs and his image, which included disposing of drugs and empty baby oil and alcohol bottles after Diddy's so-called freak-offs. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges. CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman joins us from outside the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan after being inside the courthouse following all of this. Katrina, good morning to you. What else did we learn from Combs' former personal assistant?
Errol, one thing that is important to note about this witness is that they had to give him immunity because he invoked the Fifth. That's his right not to incriminate himself by testifying. So he is protected with all of this testimony. So far, what we heard from him was about, for one, the long hours he worked with Combs, sometimes from one morning until 7 a.m. the next day. Also that he was threatened by Combs once a month. You know, he always felt at risk of losing his job. But most significantly, we heard about how he would set up these hotel rooms for Combs with items that we've been hearing about, like baby oil, Astroglide, other drugs as well, Errol. And then also how he would later come and tidy these rooms up. This is significant testimony, Errol, because part of these allegations is that employees, trusted assistants, were part of this alleged racketeering scheme that Combs was supposedly at the direction of. And then we also heard from an expert witness yesterday, Errol. Her name is Dawn Hughes. She's a forensic psychologist, and she's sort of a blind witness. She's not supposed to have interviewed the people who are part of this case, but she was generally testifying about victims of domestic abuse and the ways they can be affected. She talked about the types of abuse, emotional, psychological, financial, and how these can hold someone into a relationship, and also the trauma bond that can keep people together. There can be love there, even if there is this abuse going on, and a victim might stay in that relationship.
And what might we hear from Kid Cudi today?
We have heard various accounts involving Kid Cudi. Errol, he's someone that Cassie Ventura, Sean Combs' ex, was involved with for a bit. This supposedly angered Sean Combs. We've seen a threatening message Cassie Ventura sent her mother, Regina Ventura, saying that Combs was threatening her and Kid Cudi, that he was going to hurt them, that he was going to release explicit sex tapes of her if he didn't get money. At the time, her mother gave him $20,000, which she did end up getting back from him. We've also heard a story about how Combs threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car in his driveway. He said that they would be out of the country at the time. He wanted Cudi's friends to see it. Kid Cudi's car did, in fact, blow up in his driveway at one point. There's an arson charge in this case that's related to that. Combs denies that this ever happened, but today we'll get to hear Cudi's side of the story.
Viewers should stay close to CBS News 24/7. I know that you'll be bringing us updates throughout the day. Katrina Kaufman, thank you.